Well, hey, welcome to CJ Vector Craft. So check this out, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. I'm still getting used to this third-person camera doohickey. Thanks for stopping by. So what we're gonna start off in this series is I'm gonna give you a world tour of my forever world. As you can see, I've been playing for 2,989 Minecraft days. I don't know what the math is, but we can do that later. So I'm just gonna do a quick world tour slash intro to my new channel. So let's jump to it first. Let's get rid of the. There we go. Okay. So we have a lot to cover, so I'm not gonna rush through it, but I'm also not gonna give you all the details because I'm gonna save that for other videos later in this series. So we're gonna start off here. This was my first house. Oops, don't do that. This was my starter house. It wasn't as big. Basically, my spawn point is probably somewhere about 100 meters that way. And I found this area. It was all full of oak trees, and I went ahead and flattened everything out. But we'll get into that. And I slowly started building up, building up. This was my first. I will start with this. I got into Minecraft late. Um, I thought it was, an interesting game. I didn't think it was my style of game. I kind of cracked on it, to be honest. And then I finally, I gave it a shot with, a few friends a couple times. And then I said, no, this isn't for me. Let me go back to, Battlefield and shooting stuff. And then once I actually got into the game, played it, figured it out, learned the mechanics, then it's just been downhill ever since, or uphill, depending how you look at it. So, real quick, this is my room. I moved everything over to my second base over there, but this was the room that I started in, where I put a bed, a painting on the wall, some storage. And then quickly, I started digging down and creating a mine and all that fun jazz. So I'll get into a little more detail about what this area is being used for now. But let's jump out here. First, before I built this storage area, I was again figuring out the game. So I was cropping my farms, manually. So basically, I just had these are my first farms here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I was just planting wheat and potatoes basically for days until I started exploring and got all the basics here: pumpkin, watermelon, beets, carrots. Then I got sugarcane and bamboo and stuff. Then I started building and experimenting with different houses after I found my first village, right? So I kind of got some ideas and some inspiration from going to different villages. So I built this little house for my farmers here. Then I started getting a little bit more creative here using different block types. And at this point, I figured out how to make stone, and it was awesome. Over here, I did kind of a bit of a little fire pit, fireplace, hangout area. Then I started doing some landscaping here. Because at first this was all just oak trees, and I just plowed everything, and I was like, nice flat working area. Um, so then we'll move on, and then can't forget this over here. It's another little house for my villagers, cramped quarters, but hey, they got a job to do. So we got a blast furnace here. We got a cauldron. Kind of made this, I stopped really automating everything, and I started, making it more, village-y like, I guess. So I started placing my blocks and my different workstations in different houses and building around it. It just kind of made it cooler for me. I kind of felt like I was building, like a working village, like, proper, instead of automating everything. But I mean, I do have a lot of farms and I do a lot of automating, but that's for different stuff. We'll get more into that later. Um, so in here, this was a new design. This was just totally random. I found a biome, a desert biome that had this acacia wood, so I grabbed some of this and kind of built this little oddball of a house. But you know, I kind of want to make this like a not like a cookie cutter style village where everything's the same. I kind of want to, you know, bring out different designs and different color palettes and stuff like that, make it look a little bit more lively. Um, Going forward, I talked about learning the mechanics of the game. So I started implementing, you know, different things like the meeting zone over here, and you know, I kind of made like a little water fountain and put the bell, so you know, can call the villagers over and they can gossip about me and stuff. So I kind of customize it, you know, not trying to make a story per se, but just kind of, you know, make it more interactive. So again, yeah, I all of this eventually we're gonna fill out over time. We're gonna get to that bad boy in a minute. So let's hop in here. So this was my main storage for hello. Thanks. This was my main storage for a while. I had chests lined up here. I still have a bunch of stuff in here. Probably, yeah, I do. Yeah, I had this whole wall full of chests. I just put this door and that door in after once I started letting the villagers take over. Over here was my main treasure where I had my armor. I had all my ores in here, you know, all my diamonds and leftovers, Ula paper. And then I started getting creative again and started, you know, playing around with different blocks to make, you know, different designs and stuff after watching a few other YouTubers. So now this is just a, I don't know, sleep, hangout, chill area for the villagers. Eventually, once we start populating it more, I'm going to put more beds in here and more workstations and stuff. Coming out here, excuse me, sir. Thank you. Then here, on the side, I kind of made like an outdoor grill area. Because for the longest time, probably for like the first, I don't know, 1,000 days, I was just, you know, grinding to get all the, find all the blocks, get all the ores, get all the armor, you know, get all the gear, going to the nether. So I really wasn't taking much time customizing or building. And I think that's something that everybody goes through. Like once you get to a point where you learn the game, you know it. Your main goal is like you're not really worrying about aesthetics. But once you get far along, you get pretty established, and you kind of want to, you know, customize your world like I'm doing now. So I made this little, you know, outside area. There's some smokers there. So let's fast track or fly over to the other side. We'll talk about the all of the villagers hanging out there. So in here, this was pretty cool. This was my first build tutorial from this awesome YouTuber that I'll link her down below, making a barn. Because before, you know, I just had fences up in a square and was just breeding and trapping them and, you know, doing the whole circle of life thing, collecting leather and meat and wool and all of that. So once I got enough inventory in, I said, hey, it's time to build a little barn for all my animals. So this is not done yet. I have like, I guess, stables set up. Even though they're not horses, but you know what I'm talking about. I got, you know, a little bit of everything in here. Eventually I want to make this like a nicer watering hole and stuff, and kind of separate them a little bit more and do like, you know, I started a chicken coop on this side, but there's just so many of them. So I got to eventually bring them over here. But going inside, in here, there's nothing too crazy. I haven't really finished the full design. I'm gonna kit it out. I have just, what do I actually have in here? Oh yeah, leftovers from the build. You'll notice that like every build I have a crafting table, a furnace, and like a chest probably. I gotta go back around and like pick all of those up. So this is my barn. I got these open here so I can open them up. And I'm probably going to fit my horses in here when I get a few. And then I'll do a little bit more customizing in here. This guy has been in here for I don't know how long, and he just won't come out. So, hope you're cozy, buddy. So let's go out this way. Now, let's go to my first mine. Ooh, don't do that. Don't do that. So, let's go here. Let's go down. So one cool thing about Minecraft is that I like, and this is gonna sound funny, but it's really simple. If you have an idea, just go for it. You can literally like build anything you want and customize it. So don't be scared. Just go with it. And that's how you get better too. That's how I started getting better. Everything was squares, and I wasn't used to building in like pixelated blocks. And then the more you build, the more you play, the better you get. So down here was my armory. On this side over here, I had some furnaces and some more chests over here. I had armor stands. This is my nether portal right here, which is pretty sweet. I had a lot of fun in my first nether runs. This was my enchanting room. So I had, some books in here. I had some lapis and stuff. I had my enchanting table that I moved over there. This is my armor for the nether. I'm leaving all of this here. It's just kind of nostalgic, and eventually I'm gonna come back and finish it up. Or put it back together and just, have it as part of my main base. In here I had a picture that I took and brought over there, but it was like, just a regular picture in there. I had a cauldron here in the corner. And then what I did do is I closed this section off here. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but so here was my first storage room. I went pretty bananas here. So I dug down and I made just like aisles of chest and like chest to the walls, like up to everywhere. So got some of these here. Yeah, dirt. Yeah, when I thought I had to keep every single block in the game when I first started. I was a hoarding gremlin for sure. And in this corner here, I had some doors, and here I kept my super awesome ores, like my diamonds and, iron and gold and all of that stuff. Then over here, this is a project that I never finished, because, this was before I figured out making a project board is a good idea. Because you can really let your imagination run wild in this game, no joke. This area, this is underwater. This is facing the ocean side. You can see the little bridge there that I made. So I kind of made this like an underwater view. It's pretty cool in the daytime, and even at night too. It looks pretty sweet. And then this side over here, I'm gonna drop all of this down and level out the ceiling and stuff. But over here, this was basically my cheap and dirty way of getting XP when I first started the game. This was here when I spawned in, but minus all the torches, of course. So I put up a wall here, and I would come down, and at night, a bunch of mobs would spawn in there, and I'll just go ham on them and just collect all the XP and loot and stuff. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna finish this whole area. I don't know yet, but we'll figure something out. We're gonna make it cool. We're just not gonna let it rot. Digitally rot, I guess. So, all right, let's head to the mine. And I'm gonna close this back up real quick. Yeah, let's do that. Let's be a little organized. So let's move it. Boom, boom, boom. So over here, dun, dun, dun. Yes, I did dig all of this out. That room above that I showed you, my second storage room where the villagers are in now. You can see there I had like a little ladder coming down into here. So I dug all of this out, and yes, it was all dirt and stone, cobblestone, and the site. So, and granite. What I did is I dug everything down, right? And then I decorated the walls, and I took the time to like, get patterns in and play with different palettes of colors, and, get kind of creative with it, and got some chains and lanterns and stuff. Built this little surrounding walkway, kind of like looking down to where I had all of my furnaces when I first started. So let's take a walk. Actually, so basically here, I was smelting everything for days. Like every line here had I had 2 rows of furnaces here and 2 rows of blast furnaces here, because I was killing it. um, in the mines over here. This is kind of just like my um, diorite little area. I'm gonna keep digging it because I like to use diorite a lot. If it gets pretty big, we'll figure out something to do in here. Pretty cool. Um, this is for future expansions. I had this all laid out. What does that say here? Future expand 30, 20. Okay, those are my coordinates. So let's get to it. The mines. Yes, I went all the way down and I stopped at each layer, layer. This is part of the future expansion. We'll see. Each layer, and I just learned about branch mining, and that's basically all there is here. This is my branch mine for iron. Goes in both directions. This one over here is pretty cool because it actually led to my first cave system that I came across. So I spent a lot of time in here, but we'll get into that in another video because that kind of connects to another cave system. Let's bring that back. Get down. So we'll keep coming down, and then over here, this is part of that cool lush cave system that we found. Spent a lot of time in here too. It's really cool. Which I need some more moss. Stop. Get down. Again, golden iron. Got a lot of golden iron here, and the same on this side. I don't remember why I put that there. There was a reason, but I just don't remember it. So going deeper, this was turf. Oh, I started here because I was doing some online reading and found that I could find a lot of turf around this area. So I started here, but I didn't get to it. I just got what I needed for a quick build, and that was it. But this is my turf zone. Down here, I started there. This was part of that other cave system that I was talking about. It kind of just like wraps all the way around, but yeah, this goes on and on and on. You can climb up there, go across, and it kind of connects to the other side once you go further up. Over here, I found my first amethyst geode, which I've cleaned out already. And basset and all these different things. Like I still have those there. Before I really knew how to farm amethyst. I have another pretty sick geode back at the other base. But yeah, I spent a lot of time in here too, lighting it up and just mining here. And I still have a lot more to explore. Let's eat something. Still have a lot more to explore down here. But let's head back to the mine. See, can we make it? Oh no! And okay, at least that didn't hurt. Oh, this is where I fought my first witch too, and it like owned me, but I got it. Got it. And of course, main level for diamonds, gold, and redstone. I spent yeah, hours. So you can tell it goes way down there. Not that far over here, but it will. Because I'm getting to the point where I need more. And I did go pretty deep far, because what are we at here? I still play around with this a lot because I'm making another mine at our other base. How far does this one go? So, what are we at here? 144. Can I fly in here? No, I can't. Right. Let's stop being lazy. It's not like we're really walking. 43. And we made it. There we go. So I went from 43 to 110. And then back across, because I kind of did like a zigzag pattern. So like I always came up this way, went over 2, then went down, and kind of back and forth like that. So let's come back out of here. I think this is center. Okay. And then once I got again more familiar with the game and a lot of gunpowder and stuff, that's when I started using TNT to blow stuff up. So you can tell here I just yeah, I dug straight and I dropped a bunch of TNT and just popped arrows at it, and just it's just funner for me at the time, because I spent again like probably the first 500 days like mining and I just want to blow stuff up. So there's the mine, and again, it goes down pretty far, probably another 100 blocks. And this is my first mine where it got me, basically the start to everything. And I just checked that, but all right, let's head back up because we have a lot to cover. I'm not gonna spend too much time giving too many details because I have a lot of plans for this series. Because I'm gonna have survival builds. I'm gonna do 100-day challenges. I'm gonna do some hardcore, and I'm also this is Bedrock, aka Bug Rock. This is where I started on PlayStation on PS4, and then I played, like I mentioned, I played for like a month with a few friends on PS4, and then I dropped it for a few years, and then I just picked it up probably about a year and a half ago on the PS5, and then I'm back on a PC. Yes, I know you heard that. So I started off gaming on PC. Like of course, I mean, I always play consoles, Nintendo and Atari, and I'm not dating myself or anything, but a lot of my intense gaming I did on PC. And then I switched to the consoles. Like the first console that I really bought for online play and stuff was a PS4. Because really that's when I kind of got into like the Battlefields and the Call of Duty and like the squad games and stuff playing with my friends. And then slowly I've been transitioning back to PC. I took a little bit of a hiatus from console gaming because it was just getting too crazy, and like I built some crazy liquid cooled, Corsair monster like 11 years ago, and now like I'm playing Minecraft with some shaders on my Java. Um and I'm playing Arc Raiders too on a little, little mini PC this big. I mean, it has, integrated graphics, which I'm gonna upgrade and get an ITX for sure. But I'm kind of going backwards a little bit. Not backwards. I'm taking a different route rather. I don't want such big bulky equipment anymore, radiators and stuff. So I'm testing out these little mini PC builds with, eGPUs and Octalink and stuff like that. So um more to come on that. But next, let's start with the path. So here is my path to my now mega base. So here was real quick before we head that way. Down here was kelp. I figured out what kelp was. I got some over there, so I made myself a little kelp farm here. I used that a lot because coal wasn't too. Not that it wasn't readily available. I just didn't know at the time really what to do with it. And watching another YouTuber making kelp blocks and breaking everything down. How many items can you smell with all these kind of things? I started using kelp. Just worked out better for me at the time. Bamboo and sugarcane. I just wrapped it around my island, um, needing paper and stuff. So then I built this little cool pathway going from my little village town to where I thought my second base was gonna be. So I don't enjoy it too much because now with Elytra I'm just flying everywhere. But it's pretty cool to see what you did and how you started off with. So I'm kind of enjoying doing this video in terms of like reminiscing. Um, so let's go back over here. Ooh, down there, down yonder. Let's go, let's go. So that's really cool as well. So I mentioned these cave systems that connect. Well, this area also connects to those two other cave systems that I showed you guys a few minutes ago. So let's go splash. So this place was really cool. This was my little go to sleep and storage area. Do I have anything in here? Oh, I think I moved everything out. Oh no, some of that's in there. So let's check this out. This place is cool. And again, I'm working on this now. Kind of building it out because this place is cool. It wraps around and it connects. But glowberries. It's so cool. I kind of built this little platform here. And I'm playing around with different ideas and stuff. Like I basically got it terraformed to what I want. or rather how I want it, because I want to leave it, you know, like natural looking. But because it has some cool little waterfalls coming from the top and stuff. There's one over there. And the stairs, I'm going to do a little bit more with the stairs, probably put some guardrails down. And I still have to go down there. I haven't even gone down there yet, so still a lot of exploring to do, but this place is cool. I got a lot of balls here, and for making pistons and stuff. Hey, and a lot of clay, which turned into brick and stuff. So this place is really cool. Let's go over here. There's a brick there. It's okay. So yeah, glowberries 4 days. So you know I racked in on these when I first started. And then talking about amethyst geodes, over here is where I found my first big geode that I didn't really know what to do with at the time. So then I just dug everything out of it, and then let's go. Yeah, we can go right here. And then this was what I was using for my amethyst farm. I dug everything out, left the main blocks that have the little symbol that grows the actual amethyst. So this is one of my amethyst geodes here. Again, I'm gonna make it a little bit nicer looking. I have some allied that I'm gonna put in here, but we'll go over all that later. Again, I don't want to give you too many details just yet. So, now if I remember how to get out of here. Oh no! Dude. See what happens when you don't pay attention? Go for it. Hey, buddies. And there's some cool fishes here that we're going to get for our aquarium back at the other base. Shh. You'll see that. Or in the other video, probably. So let's come back up here. Yeah, I made those steps. This was really cool. Finding this was like, oh. So let's come out of here. Up and away. So let's start over here. Yeah, let's start down here. So we got to finish this wall because we dug all of this out. I'm trying to keep it kind of organic, if I'm using that correctly, but like I don't want to make it look too commercialized or, you know, too straight. I want to kind of go with the curves of the natural, you know, what would we call this? Feng shui? No, not feng shui. Word eludes me right now, but you know what I'm talking about. I kind of want to keep it, you know, not looking so cookie cutter-ish. So coming up with this design. We're going to finish this out completely. Up here is really cool. So I'll take you in the bottom entrance here. Let's eat some cooked mullet. I'm switching to cooked mullet this time because I have so much cow meat. Steak. No one really likes a good steak, but alright, let's come on up. Again, remember, keep in mind, this was all early on before I even knew what basically redstone was. Because, like, I started playing Minecraft and, like, going for it. Like, I try to say, hey, let me take some time to learn the game before I actually go online and start, you know, like, checking with people and watching videos and stuff. So plans change quickly, but this is, since I liked my spawn so much, I said, oh, you know, the side of the mountain, kind of, you know, Batman style, looking out over everything. So I had a lot of storage in here. This was like my room area. This was like my armory. I moved all my stuff, but yeah, this was like base 2.0. After moving from that house, this was my second house area. Down here, I actually found another amethyst geode, and this is my main one right now. I got to come up with a better entrance idea. This was just temporary. I threw this together, but we'll go down there in the next video. I have a tutorial on how I built that and how it works. But I have some allied down in there to help me collect amethyst when I need some. So, all right, let's go out this way. See where it's less confusing, because the cool stuff is going to be, well, all of it is cool, but the real interesting stuff is going to be out here. So let's go mash our button, and I'm going to miss it. Yeah. Oh, hey, creeper. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Let's say hi to. Oh, and we got some guys over here. Actually, here, let's do this. Parkour. Thank you. See ya. Hey, 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 sir. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Ow. That's not very nice. Okay, so let's go here. And yeah, I'm one of those crazy guys. I'm playing on hard mode. Yeah. Oh no, you're getting a peek. So this is. Hey, it's my little ally buddy. You, sir. Go away. Why are we getting stuff here? Let's light this up. Oh, hey guys. You know what? I don't really. Ow, sir. Sir. Ugh. You know what? Not today, donkey. Not today. So let's start up here. How rude of them, right? So, actually, let's see how we can get over here. See if I don't embarrass myself too much. All right, better. Ta-da! So this is my current base that I'm expanding on. There's a lot going on here, and under it is on and popping. But this area too, you can see I'm gonna continue that whole rounded area over here and build this out, but I'm not gonna pass this point right here. So I'm kind of gonna use this as my foundation, and follow that same design all the way around, but keep all of this mountain area. Down here is this is going to be my dock trading area. I'm going to build some boats and stuff. You can see here I have a little dock thing going on. This was really fun building. I actually really started playing with maps here. You'll see now in a second. We'll head down there. So this was a fun build. This one I just said I'm going to be creative, do it myself. No tutorials, no online, no anything. So I'm kind of proud of that one. And it's still not done yet. So, but let's head down so we can take a look. I did again playing around with different blocks and stuff, kind of make this into like a brick wall, kind of looking like washed up design on both sides over here. Stop it. This one's a little bit smaller, but kind of, you know, this is where I really started stacking blocks and playing around and like really customizing it. Good rounds. So that's really fun to do. The same thing here with these walls. Once these released, I keep forgetting what they were called, but this was a game changer. It was a great accent piece for stuff like this. So, and then here is my map of my base, which I'm gonna have to expand, but we'll get there. But we'll get there. Maps are really cool. I'm gonna expand it more, I'm sure, as we continue to build, but you can see here where we started right here. You can barely see the barn over there. I could go a little bit further, but we're going to stick with this for now because I do enjoy it. And it's cool because you can see the progression when you start building, or your progress as you build, it just grows. So it's really cool. So now let's head, where else should we go? Over here. So let's come this away. We make it, here, let's start over here. So when I started figuring out, yeah, that looks pretty, doesn't it? My ADD kicked in. This is really cool. So this was my first villager breeder farm, and I still use it. I think now I needed to trade some stuff. Close the door, sir. Once I figured out distances and keeping them away so they don't, you know, link up with other blocks and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a hostage zone. I know, I get it, but I did some trading with these guys because I don't remember what I needed, but I think I was getting different cool terracottas and stuff like that. So, yep, that's cool. Not much to say about that. So they're keeping them hostage and just using them for their blocks. Oh yeah, there we go. I was collecting some of the cool different blocks and different terracottas. Yeah. I remember. Which I still have to finish that. But that's one thing about this game. I know it's hard to, like, you know, everybody says, oh, you know, that 2-week Minecraft break or something like that. And yeah, I've gotten to the point where I let it go for like a week maybe, but I would be lying if I said that whole week I wasn't planning ideas of what to do when I get back. So there's a lot to go on, lot to do in the game. So don't get worried that, oh, I'm gonna beat the dragon, because secret, I haven't beat the dragon yet. Yeah, I haven't. I haven't. And how did you get Elytra, you say? Well, um, yeah, I went into the end and I just built blocks in a random direction until I found a ship. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm that guy. Yeah, I'm gonna beat him though, because I'm still learning this game, right? Like I'm building cool stuff. You know, I've been to the Nether a few times, but I'm still learning the game. It's just so interesting. Like it keeps me busy all the time. Like, you know, you can, again, like I mentioned earlier, you can make it as detailed as you want or as boring as you want. And that wasn't supposed to happen. You weren't ready to see this yet. So, back to what I was saying. You can make it as detailed as you want or as, you know, advanced, or, you know, it depends on you, and that's one of the cool things I like. So up here, this is where I started playing around with farms and figuring out, you know, redstone and how to use repeaters, and how the redstone signal worked, and using pistons. So here, I'll go into more detail later when I do tutorials, but here are some of the farms that I built. I used tutorials for these when I first started. I learned them, how they work. Once I learned how all the blocks work and everything, then I started making my own. But this is a quick, I'll just turn it on. You can see how this works. It's a pretty cool little system. Your kelp grows. Sir. Your kelp grows in here. It drops down into these hoppers. It drops down into these composters. And then, boom. Bone meal. Bone meal is used for, I don't know how many cool things you can do with it. But for me, I used it for my sugarcane farm. I used it for, oh gosh. I did a lot of trading with it. Really cool stuff. This one is the same design, but I started getting a little bit more advanced here, and doing bamboo and putting a dispenser in there. So the bone meal goes in there, it rapidly grows the bamboo. Again, another piston comes back around, chops it off, it falls in, and then it goes here and it makes bamboo planks. It's wood. Unlimited wood means you have unlimited sticks to trade with Fletchers to get emeralds, and chest. So I'm never gonna need chest or sticks again. So I built this guy and it's been a game changer. Next we'll go over here. This was that sugarcane farm I was talking about. Again, I'm not gonna go too much in detail with it, because I want to I have a video already planned of going over all of these, how they work, and building them for you guys. But real quick, you put your bone meal that you got from your farm over here, put it in the back, it gets dispensed, it grows, same contraption. Pistons hit it and they drop down in here, and I collect them down below in the bottom of here, which you saw that you weren't supposed to see because I fell. All right, smelting. This is my super smelter. Once I figured this out, oh man, it was a wrap. Game changer for sure. So, and I'll switch these out too. I'll put, depending if I'm, you know, trying to smoke a lot of food or something, I'll switch these out. I have smokers here. But yeah, this was another big game changer for me. And then over here, my little lava farm collection over here. So this guy, oh, also once I figured out I can put buckets of lava in the furnace, that also helped a lot too. My infinite water source here. This is really cool too. This is another tutorial that I followed from somebody. Oh God. Oh God. What did we do? Oh god. Oh god. Oh, we're gonna die, aren't we? We're gonna... Did we just die? Guys. Did we just die? Did we just do that? Okay, I'm leaving that in there because that was hilarious. I will admit, thankfully, I have the Totem of Undying, but I will say my gamepad is dying and my finger got stuck. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. But yeah, so in here, now that we're alive, this is my automatic fishing farm. And I'll give you a quick example. Don't want to spend too much time. Let's not fall in there again. You know, it's probably a good idea. And I should switch gamepads because yeah, that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. So let's get this guy over here. I've got a lot of cool books in here, different enchantments. This is another one I'll go over in detail. So you'll come here, cast out, you wait. The mechanism in the bottom with the lava that killed us automatically detects and pulls out. It automatically retrieves it for you and then puts your catch down here for you. So you can see we've gotten some pretty cool loot and nautilus shells, you know, cooked fish, name tags, you name it. Also a bunch of enchanted rods. So really cool. Definitely gonna share that tutorial with you guys because it's pretty sweet. So let's put this away. You, sir, go here. Now, aha. Iron, anybody? Yes, I made an iron farm. Oh, this was fun. It was all right. You want to talk about trial and error? Jesus, it took forever for me to design this, and I'm not taking full credit because I watched probably about 3 or 4 videos, and between Bedrock and Java, you know, at first I really didn't know the difference, and then the game mechanics are different. Yeah, so that was a bit of a learning curve. Once I figured out that Bedrock, Bug Rock, you need 20 villagers, 20 workstations, and all of that jazz. That's what I kind of built over here. You can see, let's get on the roof. Hey, buddy. So I have 10 over there, 10 over here. The beds are centered here. The golem spawns. He gets pushed into the center and drops down to the fire. And you get a lot of iron, as you can tell. So this was really cool to build to. And once I got it working, oh, that's awesome. So here is my auto crop farm. This was another cool build. So, sir, what are you doing? What's going on here? All right, we'll worry about that later. But this was really cool. You plant your crops here. You wait till they grow. You come back, pop this button. The water dispenses. Let's go first one. The water dispenses and pushes it down into these hoppers, which then drops it down into here for you. Really cool collection system. I used that a lot in the beginning. And I still do now, too. This is one of my newer builds that I'm still working on. This is a cactus farm. I finally found a desert biome recently. Yeah, y'all think I'm playing when I said I'm still learning the game after playing for 2,991 days. Yeah. So I found a desert biome, brought some cactuses back and some sand, and I built this cactus farm. And I'm gonna go up a little bit more, but you know, like I mentioned before, I'm starting to customize my builds more because early on in the grind, you know, you're doing a lot of this. You're just building, leaving, building, leaving, building, leaving. One cool thing that, again, something I'm not going to take credit for, one really cool thing is kind of dress up your farms. Like, you know, over here, I'm planning on building, like, you know, a really cool, like, I don't know. I'm going to call this like the super smelting house or barn or something. You know, I'm going to build a building around it, give it an entrance, you know, kind of customize it. This sugarcane farm I'm going to keep. I'm gonna build something around this as well too, kind of customize it. Give your world more character. You know. Hey, Gassy, we'll talk about you later. Um, so we did the iron farm. We went through our automated crop farm, our cactus farm that I use for green dye and XP. Over here, this is an open area that's going to be kind of like a garden slash flower power place with bees, and I'm gonna make this into like a bee farm, but I'm not gonna like really automate it too much. I just wanted to be, more natural. So I'm gonna just get some oak trees, get some beehives. I'm not gonna do any crazy collection system, because I don't need a lot of it right now. So I kind of want to give it, a little custom build, little special attention. Here we're gonna do something back here. Probably, put some trees. This was my first attempt at like some pretty cool stairs instead of your standard basic stairs. I started playing with angles and stuff, so pretty happy with how this came out. Have ideas to improve it. Again, I found that desert biome, so I got a lot of stone here. This is like a little water. This was a waterfall area, but I changed up the idea, and you'll see why when we get down below. So this area is pretty cool. I have some fishes in there. Haven't put them in yet, but I got some fishes I'm gonna put in here. Decorated with some sea pickles to light it up. It looks pretty cool. So now let's go down to the main area. Actually no, let's do our storage first. Real quick, this area is, hey buddy. This is after I go on an expedition or something and come back. I have my little AI helper buddy over here where I just drop, everything I have, and this is like my pre-staging area before I move it over here. So let's get up in here because this is my big storage. I kind of went crazy with this one because like, remember I mentioned I like to collect all the stuff and I was keeping literally everything. So I made a big outdoor storage house for all my stuff. So we'll start here at the bottom level. I have, this is again talking about the golems. I was playing with these guys and learning their mechanics and stuff. So this isn't the most efficient way to, utilize the iron golem, but these are the first guys that, the first golems I had. So I'm just keeping them here. Like you'll see, I have a bigger collection system upstairs that I use. But these guys are staying here. I used honey and stuff to kind of like, keep them in these colors. So they're going to stay that way. So I have all my stones here. I have different variations. I have all my woods over here. I used a lot of dirt back here. This is where I have like my amethyst and stuff, basset. So I just kind of did like a whole inventory. Over here, this is all my wool, and I followed. Hey, come back here. So for this, come back here. Stop it. So for here, I basically followed this. I use this as my guide. So, for everything. So I got to fill these in. Every gap is missing because I don't have it yet. So this is the different colors of cement that I've been doing. Up here are, all of our stone, our block, not stone, all of our blocks, copper, iron, made some diamond blocks and stuff, raw blocks of ores. This is all my iron besides my iron farm over there, emeralds and my diamonds. And over here we got food, and then, our leather and stuff and glowberries. And I still have to fill up this back wall with everything else that we need. By the way, do I have... Is it still there? I thought I had like a super secret chest or something. Or maybe it's up top. It might be up top. So, oh, and I did signs too. I didn't even notice it. So, ore block, diamonds, gold, terracotta, So you can get pretty crazy with this game. I'm telling you, if you're like a organized, detail type of person like I am, yo, you'll be good for a while. Then we have up here our different dyes and flowers. Um, that's one of the goals too. I want to collect basically over time, of course, all the items in the game and kind of make this like my museum. So we have again, we got our rockets over here. I have no rockets, but I have gunpowder. This is all our coal. Again, all different grass variations. So I went pretty crazy with this build, and I like it. It's really neat. Big storage area. And I built all of this before the copper golems came in. So that's the storage. Now let's go down. So where to start? Okay. So here is the interior of my base, of my mega base. So this is where I move my enchanting to over there. It doesn't have a dedicated space yet, but this is just pre-staging. This is my potion mixing room. I'm not done with it yet, of course. Like you can tell, it's a lot of projects not done with it, but I have mostly all of the items we need to brew basically anything in here. Every item is, in a barrel over here. What's empty is what I'm missing, but if there's an empty spot, something goes there. That I still have to collect. So again, there's that over here. This was like a rug floor design I was playing around with, trying to get, get creative with it and get some depth in the game and stuff. So I'm still not 100% on this, but we're gonna go with it for now. Cherry blossom. Once I found the cherry blossom, it became like my staple decoration. So here are some of my ally buddies. I'll take them out when I need some mining help for collection. This is my temporary room area with my extra tools, my enchanted tools over here, and a little map for me, my armor. This area out here, this is just like an outdoor balcony area. Hey guys, so this is gonna lead down into our nether area that I'm gonna build out of eventually. This is our new nether portal entrance. You can tell I kind of got creative and playing around with some of the blocks from the nether itself, and same thing. I have a bed, my essentials when I go into the nether, my golden armor, and of course my ender chest as well. So I think that is going to cover this world tour and intro video. For now, I still have one more thing that I need to show you. Well, one more section. Because I totally missed the whole back half. Ow. Yeah. It's still a work in progress too, because over here, all these shulker boxes are full of items that I need to go through from different expeditions. So oh yeah, I need a lot of inventory management. A lot of it. So how could I forget? Oh. So project wall. As you can tell, I have only a few projects. Yeah, I have a lot. Only a few projects. So this is a project wall, and not all of them are up here because I literally forgotten about them, and I've literally come across them like, oh hey, I started that and I never finished, and then I'll bring it back. So for example, skylights over here, these are the skylights. I'm basically done with them, but once I'm done, I'll slap some ink on there, to mark them as complete. But definitely just start with a project wall, write all your ideas down, because as you can tell here, there's so many here. Original village complete, not done. Mob XP farm, auto sorter, redstone mob drops, copper golem, bee farm. That's what I mentioned we're gonna do up top. So like just flower garden farm, animal pens. Write it down. Get a wall. sticky note, do something because you'll forget. This is the cactus farm that started down here, and I just extended it up outside the top. So I'm gonna build something pretty cool around there. But this is where I go down, and it's probably full. I probably need to do some of the chores. Yeah, it's full. I got to do my daily chores. Clean up some of these farms. I have another super smelter down here that I use. Same thing. Got my source up, my fire source up there, and my cactus right there. Turn it on. Boom, boom, boom. It drops and fills. We'll get into that in more detail later. This area, besides my doggo collection, this area, this is going to be a really cool build. This is going to be probably a few videos. But directly above this glowstone right here are those chests for the iron farm. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a system to drop them down and make this whole area over here my iron storage and iron collection area. So I'm going to, everything you can make with iron, I'm going to make it here. And I'm going to just really make this a cool area. I have some pretty cool ideas and plans in mind, but we're going to save that. And one of them being this copper golem. He's going to come in handy for that because I will be using him. I got this from another YouTuber. His name is Prowler. I'll link the video. He came up with this design himself, and it's super, super efficient. Again, I'm going to break it down for you guys, but he does the sorting for us. Whatever you put in his copper chest, he's going to sort for you in these chests, so it helps with your inventory a lot. This is just my trash system. Whatever extras I have, I'll, you know, throw in here. It drops down in there, and you will be collecting a lot of junk. And it's going to take a while for you to figure that it's junk. But once you do, make yourself one of those. And then what is left? There's one more area left that we need to check. One more area. So let's go this way. Don't mind me getting lost in my mega base. Thank you. Alright, so we're gonna go up. We're gonna up, and away. Up here. Haha. Sir. This is my first XP farm. Where'd you get your driver's license? Jesus. This is my first XP farm. Oh man, when I figured out how to make a trident killer too, oh, game changer. So up here, this is what I need a lot of that amethyst for. But yeah, really cool. I'll break down a tutorial on how this actually works. But it's really cool. In the beginning, it was manual. Most of the time, I was manual. I was sitting here, and I was just had my best, you know, god sword on with looting and everything, and I was killing all of the mobs when they drop down. Because basically the way it works is they drop down, they get pulled into the water, they drop down the shaft, they come here, and they're cooked. And I was just sitting here just hammering away at them. Then I made this trident killer. You turn it on, you can hear the trident going around. I'll give you a little preview. Let's open this up. They all drop. The trident killer takes care of them. I had to put this little system in place to kind of like open and close them, because sometimes I'll be doing maintenance and then a creeper will drop in there and blow it up. It happened like 4 times. So, and the way it works is simple. All their drops are collected by hoppers. They're put into this chest over here, which I can't open because these guys are up here, but then they drop down. You'll see there. And then they'll make their way into the second level. You remember this guy? Yeah. I've been using this design a lot. So, here, let's do this. We're gonna go this way. Hey, hey, hey. Only because I want to be cool and fly in it. So I would climb up here and I would just hang out for a little bit, you can see my XP going up at the bottom, and I'll just AFK for an hour and just like get 10 or 15 levels and enchant. Once I figured out the automation in this game and how to do these things, it really sped up progress. But then it made me want to build bigger, cooler things. So this system is really cool. Mobs drop a lot of good stuff. So, you know, I have my flesh here, I have my bone collecting here, and I have all these golems just collecting and inventorying everything. And then whatever they don't have a location for, they'll put in their next chest over here, which will feed down. And it just kind of, you know, wraps around over here to another set of golems, which do the same thing. Gunpowder, redstone. I have all of these different items sorted out. They make their way over here. Collect over here. Oh yeah, those are all full. I keep those. I'll come in here and I'll do some cleanup because I use them to make dispensers and stuff. And then this section over here, these are the things that either is overflow or I don't have a spot for. 9 times out of 10, or 8 times out of 10 rather, you know, there's 2 things in here like I'm going to keep. The iron and, you know, some of this glowstone. Everything else can be trash. So basically, I'm at the point where if all of this stuff is trash, I'll be fine with it. I don't really need anything from here. So what I'm gonna do is, as you saw in the base on the bottom, inside the actual base in the mountain, I have that trash system. I'm gonna build that trash system here. So because it does get backed up, and it's probably backed up now. If they can't place anything in an open chest, and it'll actually get stuck in the hoppers. So if this fills up, which I can see it's already filled up. Oh no, we're good. Yeah, it can back up and mess everything up. So I'm gonna do that little trash system over here to can all that stuff. And I think that about covers it. And again, I've only scratched the surface of this game myself because I got hooked. I really got hooked in just the automation of it. You know, I'm an engineer at heart and for work. So this mechanical stuff just, oh man, it's exciting. So, oh, one last thing. This was my first manual sorter that I built. It was really cool. I don't use it anymore, but it's just, I keep it around because it reminds me of early on Minecraft days. And I'll still come here and I'll grab some stuff because I still have a lot. Yeah, I got a lot of bones. I got a lot of arrows. I already cleaned out the yeah, I already cleaned out the gunpowder. I still have redstone and yeah, I cleared out the gunpowder because I go through a lot of rockets. Because, you know, I like to. Now that I got elytra, I can't be bothered by walking everywhere. But I still do, and I ride horses around because it is pretty cool. You kind of got to get immersed in the game too. Like, you know, I think the reason why a lot of people get bored of the game is because if you don't really explore and you're just, you know, massively building these big intricate areas and you don't have much stuff that you need to do, then I guess it gets boring. But you can still keep it interesting. I haven't done a trial chamber yet. I haven't found all of the underground monuments. I haven't found all the biomes yet. And again, I haven't beat the dragon. So I have a laundry list of things that I'm pretty sure I'll be playing Minecraft for a while. And it's just a chill, relaxing game too. Like, sure, you take a break from it every once in a while, but don't be like me. I knocked it and, you know, was cracking jokes, and I'm 36 now, and Minecraft is on my top 5 of regular rotation games. And this one I play weekly. So that's a quick world tour, as quick as I could make it. I know we probably went over a little bit that I wanted to, but a lot more to come for this new channel. I still can't get into this third person talking view, and since I have my face over here, I think I can skip this part. But a lot more to come for this channel. I have a lot of plans for it. I have a lot of build tutorials, and I just want to you know, share with everybody all the stuff that I learned, and you know, kind of get more people involved in playing Minecraft and not, you know, cracking jokes at it all the time, because like really I was one of them. And now This game is fun and chill, and you know they have an educational version for kids, which I find to be really cool. So yeah, you know they're all playing and you know I don't know the blowing each other up and stuff and fighting all the time. But besides that, you know the game offers a lot of cool stuff, which I enjoy. So stay tuned. If you haven't already, like this video, please. That's gonna help me a lot. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you can get notified. If you have any questions, you know, just comment. I'll respond back as soon as I can. Um, I still have more videos to come. I'm gonna have a survival build series, a tutorial series. I'm actually gonna start my first 100-day challenge in the next few weeks. I got a hardcore mode that I'm gonna start, and I'm slowly transitioning into Java from Bedrock. So I'm actually gonna have another series alone going over the differences between Bedrock and Java. Because at first I didn't think there was much, but it's like, yeah, it's completely different. So I'm still learning that, and I started a world, and I'm starting to record that series. So that's gonna drop here in a few weeks. So stay tuned for that. And again, if this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by and joining. And remember, hit that bell to get notified when I upload. And until next time, see y'all.